Okay, we've been talking to the experts, and now it's time to hear from you on the front line. And this question comes from Chantel. Chantel is VP of Risk at a Canadian mining company, and she asks, what practical effect will AI have on risk managers, and how can I prepare? So we'll go around the table on this one, and maybe you can kick us off. What practical effect will AI have on risk managers, and how can I prepare?
Well, Brian, AI will have a profound impact on risk managers because it is accurate and reliable data information that they can use to prioritize what they need to look at in terms of what they have going on in their organization.
So they can do a better job quicker, more efficiently.
Yes, and be able to use capital to prioritize managing those risks and be able to communicate effectively because the data is accurate.
And Andy, what have you got?
I think one of the practical effects is happening right now. We see that with insurance companies hiring AI experts because they're using AI to manage the risk exposure to the companies that buy their insurance products. So I think if we're not using AI today to help protect yourself as a customer, those tools are going to be used to manage the risk exposure of the company you're buying those products from.
While I have you, and speaking of insurance, tell me about parametric insurance.
Parametric insurance is really a kind of a fascinating subject, and I would say within the last 4 or 5 years, around that, we've seen companies actually put device-based insurance products on the market. And I'll try to keep it quite simple because it can be a complex subject. It's a pre-adjusted insurance policy. So essentially a device is installed, and I'll use flood as an example. They come in, they understand the impacts of what would happen if water got up to, say, 1 meter. And if it would trigger the device, it would automatically give you a payment within 24 hours. Let's say it gets up to 10 meters, it would trigger another payment within 24 hours. So instead of the traditional process of filing a claim, having an adjuster come out, and then make the claim, understand what the loss is, which could take 6, 8, 12 months, depending on the size of the claim, and if there was any legal aspects involved in it, it's a different way to manage risk and a different way to actually buy insurance.
So let me ask you this, because that sounds like the best news I've heard in a long time. I don't know about you. So is this something that the insurance company is going to come to me with and say, you know, we're bringing you these devices so we can pay you, you know, your claims faster? Or am I going to the insurance company and say, hey, I'm installing these sensors. Can we talk about my policy?
I think it's a mixed bag right now. I think there are insurance companies that actually have bought device companies, so they're offering these products to their consumers because ultimately the insured just doesn't want to have a claim. Yeah. So if they can offer you a product that automatically shuts off valves so there's not a leak, that's really great, right, for them because there's not a claim. But I think there's also some pieces of it where maybe if you as a consumer aren't keeping up with things, that maybe there could be some larger impacts. For example, they're using drones. There's an article that's happened in Texas where they were flying over roofs to actually risk adjust policies based on how old the AI was determining your roofing was. So I think it's a mix of both, is that you could probably get a discount on your insurance because there's a form that you fill out that says, do you have a leak detector already? You may get a discount to your policy, or your insurer may actually offer you a product that does that.
Can you foresee a time where a company could partner with an insurance company to offset the cost of bringing in, you know, sensors and IoT, that sort of thing?
We absolutely see that. We see within the last 3 or 4 years, more insurers offering resilience credits. So offering some cash to customers to actually make their operations less likely to have a claim. So I think we'll continue to see that as we move forward. Not only devices, but again, the AI to help support effective decision making with the devices, the data that's collected from them.
Well, you heard it here, folks, so go talk to your insurance company. Barry, just to answer our question from Chantal, how is AI going to affect the risk manager?
From a risk management perspective, I think it's a huge benefit towards compliance issues, allowing a risk manager to establish some what-if scenarios. So it's based on some examples of what Andy just referred to, determining if this situation exists or could develop, how best am I going to be suited to manage that? And again, some of the technology will help with determining some of those potential outcomes from some of that stuff. Of course, the other thing is the predictive learning and gathering historical data. Most everything that is identified from, if you're looking at loss history, it's from lost data. And the more you gather that, the more information you have that can support and predict what's likely to happen in the future. Those are some huge benefits, I think, from the risk manager's role, is being able to adapt this technology to help with a lot of that aspect.
So just perhaps, as a last question on this one, Andy, I'll turn to you. If I'm sitting in an office in a corporation and I want to start investigating, learning more about how technology, specifically sensors and IoT, can help me up my game, where can I start?
Call me. I'm in the phone book.
Okay.
I think having a strategy, a good starting point by working with your technology partners is a really good first step. We work with a lot of organizations that are manufacturers or operators of large industrial operations that have a very small technology staff. So it's hard for them to figure out where exactly to start. So I think it's important for companies like us to be able to reach out, educate, and empower those customers to be able to leverage technology like this.
Okay. Thank you all so much.